very slight continuity error here with the change in scenery. But I've got this letter which is titled "Don't Have Nightmares." All right, I hope things are good in Jeffville with no floods or boiling rivers or Billy Gates of hell, bioweapon mosquitoes, free-range biolab-induced sniffles, future engineer and scientists fighting age valet-parked economic parasites with a mostly peaceful faith that absolutely doesn't call for death to non-believers or vehicles that run on the profits of exploiting child labour in nations kept in their place by the faceless maniac puppeteers that run the world or anything else of that nature to trouble you. By that point, this letter caught my attention. So, the not so brief introduction over, getting to the point, kind of. I'll gloss over that you look a bit similar to a bloke I used to go to school with, possibly too much of an aside. I love cars, I always have, and I always will. I won't love the soulless shitboxes currently being farted out by the monster corporate globalist ESG-loving giants, as they have about as much soul as Anthony Fauci, and the personality of wishy-washy ballsack, the unelected alleged leader of our once much better nation. I used to love reading the latest car magazines. I enjoyed reading them during the heyday of the modifying scene in the early 2000s. I couldn't afford the wheels or body kits or all that malarkey, but I did once add a full Jan speed system that could possibly wake the dead suddenly. It actually says could possibly wake the died suddenly brigade. Wow, this person's going for it. And some Momo harness pads to my XR poo. 1,000 horsepower added, honest gov. More inspiration came from Kathy Lloyd and Emma Noble in Lax Power / Fast Car than a Slam Nova. But again, probably an aside. And breathe and don't think of boobs. Again, you can see why this letter caught my attention. I live in a little town called St Neots in Cambridgeshire. You may have seen signs for it on your totally not a race from the east coast to St David's, an area that, as another weird coincidence, I spent a lot of time during the good old 1990s. I even terrorised it with a Poppy Bang XR poo. I think he means XR2. The locals looked at me like I'd been beamed down from our overlord spaceship. It wasn't a Land Rover proper, nobody wants to nick it covered in cow shit style, or a Subaru Ute thingy. Anyway, St Neots, well, Eton Socon is where I live. It's shit usually, but right now it's probably utterly effed with a big F. Do you fancy coming over to witness the shitness? It could possibly make interesting content. I'll try and reason it out. 1994, they went through the place from one end to the other and did traffic calming, a marketing triumph of spinning, "We are going to litter the place with a myriad of mini roundabouts, chicanes, with restrictions and cycle lanes because progress and safety." From the reality, we've got a few quid and we've decided to put a load of cock obstacles in that will never be properly maintained from the point they're signed off. But it's getting even better. UK Power, Anglian Water and the local council are all at it. The first two, planned works, simultaneously. The town council want to remodel the high street and market square to regenerate it and have just made it look like Soweto, and they're currently ballsing up the high street. Why? Even the banks are clearing off. This town coming like a ghost town. The cherry on top of the turd sandwich is because the river burst its banks, a seasonal occurrence throughout my entire life. They closed the little ancient bridge over the river at Little Paxton. But because of the job they did when they resurfaced it a few years ago, when the floods arrived, the top surface lifted up and floated away, revealing the cobbles from a couple of hundred years ago. So all the traffic from that direction gets fed into the planned works. It's all very coincidental. Even though the floods have gone, the road hasn't been sorted, so the bridge is still closed. At least there's the train strikes. Oh, and about 3 miles away, we have the Black Cat Roundabout, which they're dicking about with. A few billion being thrown at that notorious shit show. So, feel free to come over. I think I've done a great job of selling it. And bring Lee. There are PowerPoints for his Scalextric Escape V. His Scalextric Escape V. I like that. No one's used that before. Scalextric Escape V. At the soulless Tesco, there's Leech the Life out of the town. Or Why Boston Golf Club, where your X5 would feel right at home. I'm in no way affiliated to either. Thanks for the content you put out. Don't tell Lee he'd be closer to winning the challenges if he didn't set up 3 cameras for walking to his car after pissing out a service station coffee. It's more fun with a bigger winning margin. If I've not bored you to sleep, feel free to give me a shout or call if it's quicker. I hate Facebook, but I signed in after 3 months just to message you. Stay safe and please don't have nightmares. Thank you very much for that message. I'm pretty sure it was about the state of Britain and the roads and flooding, but I haven't got to deal with any of that today because of the flooding and the roads and the weather and the state of Britain. I broke and then I left. So for the next 4 days, I've got a Fiat Panda and I've got that. So I'm going to be making videos from here. I hope you don't mind. I did organise a lot more letters whilst I was on the train that goes in the sky, because I've been introducing videos by saying, hello, I'm Geoff Buys Cars, and today I'm getting on a train, because that's what I always say. But today it was a plane, and it took me about 4 takes to actually say the word plane and not train. So I did go on a plane that went in the sky, and I've come to Benidorm to check out what this is all about, because Lee said, look, if you feel like you need some weather, why don't you go to Benidorm? So that's what I've done. I feel very guilty for the fact that I didn't drive my Volvo down here. However, if I had driven my Volvo down here, right now I would be somewhere in the middle of France. So I guess swings and roundabouts. We will be doing a race, not a race. We won't be doing a race. Lee the Mapmaster and I will not be doing a race to Benidorm, but we will both be leaving somewhere in England at the same time and seeing who gets to Benidorm the firstest. Him in his EV and me in some form of probably Volvo, because I've not yet done a challenge in a Volvo. So all of that is coming soon. Hope you enjoyed that little letter. And I'm going to go do things that you do in Benidorm now. I'm actually not going to do any of the things that you normally do in Benidorm. I'm going to go sightseeing in my Fiat Panda. Right, thanks very much for watching.